So Xiaomi just finished unveiling their Xiaomi Mi A1 in Delhi, and I had to tell you guys what I thought about this bold new step from the company we have grown to know and love over the past few years. We've seen how much you guys love Xiaomi phones, but even with MIUI 9 on board, the Mi 6 had failed to take on the might of the stock Android-based Oxygen OS on the OnePlus 5. Will having stock Android on board flip the tables? And more importantly, is the global version of the Mi 5X, aka the Mi A1, worthy of your time, attention, and money? This is Sundar, you've been watching C4E Tech, and stay glued to your seats to find out all the juicy tidbits that you need to know of Xiaomi and Google's love child. Now this video is going to be a bit different than most. Why? Because we've already reviewed and done extensive coverage on the Mi 5X, and the Mi A1 is basically the same hardware shell with stock Android running the show. So does that mean we'll not give you guys the rundown of the specs and overall feel of the device? Not at all. We'll just keep it short and sweet. And if you want an in-depth look, head on over to the top right corner. I'll leave a card to our Mi 5X review. There you can have our detailed thoughts on the device as well as some beautiful shots of the Mi A1 in all of its glory. So here's a quick rundown of the specs. The Mi A1 sports a metal unibody design with hidden antenna lines and rounded edges. A comfortable phone to hold, the front of the Mi A1 is wrapped in 2.5D glass with a 5.5-inch Full HD screen hogging all the attention. The back sports a dual camera setup, more on that in a bit, and of course a fingerprint sensor. Interestingly, the back has a special coating to avoid fingerprints, something that would be welcome in the hot, sweaty Indian climate. As for our thoughts on both the build and design, well, they're both perfectly serviceable but a little bland. Taking a peek inside, we have the Snapdragon 625 chip running the show, coupled with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. The 625 is an excellent mid-range option that handles day-to-day tasks as well as most gaming tasks with aplomb. Interestingly, Xiaomi has added in a Priolytic graphite sheet into the build of the phone that is supposed to help with heat dissipation during prolonged gaming sessions. If you guys want us to do a side-by-side comparison of the A1 and the Mi 5X in an extended gaming review, do hit that like button and let us know. Finally, we come to the star of the show, the dual camera setup, or as Xiaomi calls it, a flagship dual camera setup. So what are the specs on both those shooters? They're both 12 megapixel cameras with one wide angle and one telephoto lens with 1.25 micron sized pixels. So why the quotation marks, you may ask? Well, my time with the Mi 5X revealed these sensors were not at all the same ones that they used in the Mi 6. The Mi 5X and thus by default the Mi A1 uses a couple of OmniVision sensors without OIS and a much narrower f2.2 aperture, whereas the Mi 6 used Sony with OIS and a wider f1.8 aperture. But how do they perform? Well, we have a dedicated camera review on these cameras and I'll leave a card here for you guys to check that out. In a nutshell, these are capable cameras in low light, but honestly, comparing it to the OnePlus 5 and the iPhone 7 Plus, that was a bit of a stretch even by marketing standards. But you know what would stretch? The battery life. With the 625 and a 3080 mAh battery, the A1 should be just as good at all-day battery life as its twin sibling, the Mi 5X. Also, Xiaomi has included a 380V charger in the box just in case you need to top up your phone real quick. Anyway, wrapping up the multimedia experience, we have a separate amp for headphones as well as a 10V power amplifier for better sound through the solo speaker mounted on the lower edge of the device. In our experience with the Mi 5X, the audio quality was decent. Nothing spectacular, but if you want us to go in depth about the media viewing experience on the A1, do leave a comment down below. It might just be a great excuse for me to sneak in some more Walking Dead on office time. Jokes apart, let's get to the important stuff. The one thing that has actually changed from the Mi 5X to the A1, the software experience. The A1 runs stock Nougat and is slated to receive Android Oreo within the year. Now this is a big deal. Not just for Xiaomi fans like me who've been cribbing about not receiving Android version updates for God knows how long, but for Google as well. Their previous launch attempt at the Android One project was killed because of poor hardware choices and the launch of a certain Redmi 1S that annihilated the competition at the sub 7K price range. Now Google seems to have done the smart thing, and their approach of if you can't beat them, join them seems to be one that would benefit smartphone buyers the most. As a prospective buyer, nothing beats the peace of mind as knowing Google's latest security patches would be arriving monthly, and that with stock Android and timely updates keeping in pace with the Pixel lineup, the A1 is as much future-proof as a mid-range Android phone can get. Interestingly, Xiaomi gets to benefit out of this as well, as they can use the Google brand name to make their presence felt in over 30 countries across the world. If you guys want to know if the phone would be available in your country, I'll leave a screenshot from the Xiaomi website up there for you guys to check out. Not only that, Xiaomi also gets to expand their offline presence with this, as they have partnered with several offline retailers like eZone and Hotspot to get this phone in the hands of the masses. All of this though would have been wasted if the pricing was out of whack. Thankfully, it isn't. At 15K, okay, 14,999, this phone is the best bang for buck device out there, priced just about 500 rupees more than it is in China, which, given the logistic charges and duties, seems very much acceptable in my honest opinion. Xiaomi hardware and stock Android might be my second tech dream, next only to a stock Android device running on flagship Nokia specs. I'm sure this is one dream many of you guys have had as well. If you did, or if you liked the video, or if you just simply love Android, share this video with everyone and let's celebrate the launch of the Mi A1. But that's just what I think about the device. What do you guys think? If you liked the video, do give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, well, you know what to do. And if your feelings are too darn complex, then hit us up in the comments. Let's talk all things Android One. This here is Sundar, riding high on some sugary sweet stock Android goodness, leaving for the moment. Have a great day.